Hi friends, hope that you are well today. I don't know about you, but it took me a little while this year to settle in on a Lenten discipline. Some of my standard or usual defaults, like less sugar, less candy, less TV time, less screen time, those actually have been in some ways the little small graces that have made this challenging year of parenting and pastoring and just life in general. Those have been the tiny little graces that have made it more bearable. And so as I reflected on those, it didn't seem like giving up those would be the thing that this year would help me just connect a little more closely with my faith. And I know in conversation with some of you, you had mentioned that the idea of giving something up this year in a time when you were already feeling like you had lost out on a lot or being asked to give up a lot just didn't seem to settle or to resonate. And so it wasn't until last Sunday when we had our very first online small group that I found something I thought that I could lean into, something that would help me draw closer to Jesus, slow down, reflect, and then also be a blessing to others around me. So we were reading Jill Duffield's reflection from Ash Wednesday, and she talks about in her pastoring and gathering at funerals how she's found that sometimes the very dust of those beloved ones who have departed clings to her clergy robe. And then she goes on to say this, I remember not only that I am dust and to dust I shall return, but I cling to the memory of those who've gone before me, even as they have clung to the hem of my garment. I remember because that cloud of witnesses gives me hope that I too might run the race set before me, and that someone, someday, will wear symbolic sackcloth while wrapped in a band of resurrection white, and pray that I be recognized as a sheep of the fold of the Good Shepherd, a good and faithful servant who has finished her race. And she talks about how even as those ashes have clung to her garment, to her clergy robe, so she clings to the memory of those who have gone on before her. And so we talked a little in the small group about who is it? Who is it that you are giving thanks for? Who's in that great cloud of witnesses? And after we hung up from that Zoom call, I thought to myself, do they know? The people that we had named, all people who have been gathered in to that great cloud of witnesses, did they know? Did they know how much we saw Jesus in them? Did they know what a gift and a grace they were to us in our lives? Did they know? Did they know? And of course, we've no way of communicating that to them now. But that led me to my discipline for this year, which is to each day of Lent write a note to someone who has been a gift and a grace, someone who has shown me the light of Christ in my journey. I want to do that because I want them to know before we reach a day when I can't let them know. And so it's been a gift for me to slow down and to reflect on all of the ways that God has showed up in my life through others, and then to take that opportunity to turn back and to thank them. I wonder if that may be something that you want to reflect on too. Maybe it's not a note every day. Maybe it's just one note each week for the remainder of Lent, or just one note to someone who is important, someone who is with us still, that you might want to thank and say, thank you for showing me Jesus. Thank you for showing me Jesus. And what a blessing I hope that would be for them to receive your note. So many of you, as I said just a couple of weeks ago in a sermon, have been angels who have ministered to me. So accept this, please, as my thank you for the gift and the grace that you have been in my life. And now for you, who are those gifts and graces? Stop, pause, return and give thanks, and bless them in this Lenten season. Grace and peace to you today.